Okay, so let me start from that fact that I'm talking to graduate students who are the, I believe, most educated in their respective countries. Let me ask you, or ask you to ask yourself one simple and critical question. Why are you pursuing your degrees? Why are you doing your master? Why are you doing your PhD? This is, although it looks simple question, but it is really a serious question. Why are you spending that time and effort, especially PhD students? Master maybe a couple of years, PhD is more commitment, a longer commitment like 4, 5, up to 7, sometimes even more. I know some people got it in 10 years. So it's a long time, very long time. And in our life, we don't have so many 7 years in our life. So why do you decide to spend your time and effort and sacrifice many things and going through lots of hardships and challenges to do this or to get this degree? Since 2019, I have been giving a workshop online many times in other universities and at Qatar University called What It Means to Be a PhD Student. And I always ask this question, and let me tell you what are the common answers to these questions that I already heard over years. The first one, social status, prestige. I would like to be called doctor. And that's, many of us think that way, right? I like to be called doctor. Okay, many will do that. So that's one reason. Another reason is to get promoted in my work. In my work, I have maybe only undergraduate degree. I want a master or PhD so that I can get promoted. I can get a better job if I get a master or PhD. I love science and knowledge, so why don't I increase my knowledge and do these degrees? I have some free time, so let me spare my time to get this degree. I want to fulfill or satisfy my parents. My parents want me to get a PhD or to get a master. I want to satisfy them. I want to be like my friends who actually are pursuing master and PhD degrees. And that actually was my own objective, to get a PhD, unfortunately. Okay, I saw my friends, my colleagues at the University of Alexandria in Egypt, they are all going for a PhD. I'm not less than them, right? I want to get a PhD like them. That was my motivation, actually, at the time, like 20 years ago, maybe, or more. So many objectives like that. All of them are valid, by the way. I'm not saying these are wrong objectives, but all of them are personal objectives. They are all for personal benefit. And that's okay, that's fine, but I think they have two problems. One, that there is a higher chance, if you have such personal objective, there is a higher chance that you will fail when you face the first challenge. You will stop. You'll say, okay, khalas, it's only on me, it's not a problem. Why should I spend 5 or 6 years? Why should I get rejection of papers? And why should I spend a lot of time trying to find a PhD topic? And my advisor is not very supportive. And there are many challenges, especially in PhD. Why should I do that? Let's quit and let's stop that. Or you will do the minimum to get just the degree. You just want the certificate at the end. Let's do the minimum, okay? And again, that's valid. It's officially valid, right? You can do the minimum requirements possible and get your degree. The problem is that if you do that, most probably you will not have real impact. Your degree will not have a real value at the end. Most probably, maybe, but most probably if you have this objective, then you will not have the real impact. Let me tell you what I think should be your objective. In addition to those, I'm not saying those are bad, but in addition to the personal objective, you need to think outside yourself. You need to think outside yourself. You need to think about your community. You need to really benefit your community, okay? Not only yourself. Yeah, for example, think that one of your objectives can be to teach the students in better ways, to guide the new generation of students. So you contribute to a better generation of students, to pass your knowledge to the students, to solve problems, solve new problems in your community that your community actually need, or propose new solutions for existing problems that actually are needed in your community. So not just your degree, not just the certificate. Maybe I want to fill the gap. There is in my specialty, there is a gap in my community. No one or very few people are working on that specialty. I really need, or I really want to fill that gap in my community. I want to represent my community in international venues. So things like that, things that are outside your personality, things that will benefit not only you, of course it will benefit you, of course, also, and we all seek personal benefit, but you need also to be benefiting your community. So in short, make your community better. And now you can replace your community, or the word my community, to my country, my city, my nation, my ummah, my deen, my religion. Put anything that you think is relevant to you instead of my community. But you need to think outside your personality. This is a bigger objective, I believe. And with bigger objectives, most probably you will get bigger outcomes. And when you get bigger outcomes, most probably you will get degrees that are of real values. The work that you will do will hopefully be of real value, of better values to the community. And if we are saying that now and watching what is happening in the world around us, especially in Gaza, you will, I hope that you will agree with me that this is much more needed now than ever before. We are all watching what's happening. We want to, we are begging actually for a ceasefire. We are begging to stop the atrocities, to stop the massacres, to stop the genocides that are happening in Gaza, but we feel like we are helpless. Many of us, including myself, sometimes I say, there's nothing in my hand other than dua and other than support and other than talking on social media, but there's nothing physical that I can do. And that's not true, by the way. That's not true. There is a big responsibility, especially on graduate students. You are the intellectual elite, actually, in your respective communities, in your respective countries. You are the most educated people. There is a big responsibility, great responsibility on you. You should choose a research area. I'm sorry that I'm going over time. I will be finishing in like maybe a couple of minutes so that you can start your lunch. You should choose a specialty where there is a need. Choose a research project that is doing something that is beneficial for your ummah, your nation, whatever your community is. I believe that we are in such situation because we don't really own our will. We are not strong enough. We don't have the power. And we need to change that. And you have a role in that change. You can make a difference. You can really make a difference. You need to change your mentality so that you can really think about the impact of your research, not just the certificate, not just the grades, not just the GPA, not just the degree, not just the publications, not just the citations, and all of that. We really need to think about the real impact, not just the official certificate. As I said, choose your project on what the Ummah really wants. Think about what is missing. What do we actually, we don't own that we should own? And maybe our enemies own. What we really lack. And then think to work on that. Don't work on translation between Chinese and English, for example. Maybe our communities don't need that. There are many other things that are more relevant to our community than something that might not benefit our own community. So solve a problem that the Ummah needs to solve. Bridge the gap between where we are now and where we should be. work hard to contribute to the prosperity and productivity of your ummah. So don't make your concerns be only the grades and the certificates and so on. This is your role and this is your responsibility. And if we don't make this change now, when should we make it? While we are watching all of what's happening now, live. It's not that we are hearing about it or we are reading about it in our history books. It's now live. We have to change. We have to make the change. We have to make the difference, and we need to be actually the difference. Thank you.